What's up, guys? It's Trevor with 404, and at least once a day it seems like I get asked, what do I do for a living that allows us to travel like this? Most of the time I give the simple, I'm in marketing, and more often than not that's enough. But occasionally people want more specifics. So here's the full story. Back in 2002, I started out with web design. And that was it. That's basically all I did. But anytime somebody that I'd worked with, built a website for, would call and ask, hey, can you do shirts, or can you do billboards, or a vehicle wrap, I would say, sure. And then I'd figure it out. At first, I subcontracted all that work out, and then over time, I built facilities and teams to do that all in-house. By 2021, I was properly burnt out. It was just too much. Too many moving parts, too many people, too many employees, just chaos. So, over a 24-hour period, I literally shut everything down, except for the web design, which is what I actually enjoyed doing the entire time. So fast forward to 2024, and I launched a system called Project X. And in plain English, it's a system that takes local businesses and ranks them number one on Google for all of their keywords in all of the areas they do business in. That sounds just like every other SEO, but this is actually a different thing. So for example, if say a plumber is in Nashville, he's not just going to show up for plumber in Nashville. He's also going to show up for water heater install, emergency drain cleaning, emergency toilet repair. Like, he's going to show up for every search. So, in short, it's a system that basically allows a business to show up number one in searches for all of the searches that people actually search for. It's kind of a cheat code for small businesses. So that's the revenue side. The day-to-day side of what I do, that's more custom development work. So like a stupid example, right? Or not a stupid example, it's a really good example, but a little simple thing. We've got a really successful transmission shop as a client, and the guy who owns it hates technology, but he knows that he needs good systems, right? Hates computers though, doesn't want to use them. He doesn't want to type. He doesn't want to do anything. So the crux of a system is a system that, if a system is not used, it doesn't matter how good it is, it won't help a business. So what I built was a simple voice-driven app. He pulls out his phone, he tells the year, make, model of a car, the customer name, phone number, all the details about the car, what they're going to do with the car, and it takes all that spoken text and parses it and builds him a database, or puts it in the database so that his staff can then use that data. And from a technical standpoint, it basically uses AI, which a lot of stuff does now, and it automatically will build that work order out and create the invoice, add the customer to the CRM. It does everything. And the goal for that is data, right? Like, he didn't know what was going on with his business because he literally just did everything scratchpad, right? So the database side of it is super powerful for most businesses, because we can analyze it. So, for example, when I asked him how often he works on Subarus, he said, hardly ever. We don't really do many Subarus. Oddly enough, Subaru is his third most common vehicle that he works on. But because he didn't have the data, he didn't know. So that where we use that is then we know that Subarus are a very high value line item for him. So then we market to people who own Subarus that need transmission work. It's very simple. But without that data, if I had just called him and said, hey, who should I build build out for? He would have said, we do the GMs, we do Fords, and rattled off a few other car brands, right? He would have left Subarus out because in his head, he doesn't do much Subarus, but it was actually his third most common vehicle. So once we put data in play, then we can actually do really impressive things with his actual marketing. So I guess, again, I'm going down the rabbit hole far more than you guys care about. So in the short of it, that's what we do. I take messy workflows and build systems that fix them. You know, and I really enjoy it because I kind of enjoy the problem solving aspect of it. So somebody, you know, a guy will talk to me about all his problems of his business, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, I have no idea how to fix or how to help that. And then sometimes a little light bulb goes off, and it's like, oh yeah, what if we do this? And then we build a really cool thing. And that's about it. And yes, I do all of this from the road. We just wrapped up our annual family vacation, and that's actually a time where I fully actually unplug and take a week off. And during that, I even couldn't help myself. I spent 2 nights coding out a AI predictive stock trading platform to help me and my business partner, trade stocks better, or smarter rather. That's what I do is fun. Like spending 2 nights coding a program is a good time for me. That's not to say that all coding I enjoy, but I do enjoy new stuff and new concepts and building cool stuff. I gotta turn left right here. And now, with all that said, I do actually work. I have stress, and I'm not gonna pretend like it's all, you know, rainbows and unicorns. But the difference is, I built my business to work around my life, not the other way around. And I think that's the real key to people being happy, is finding the thing, or finding what their version of freedom actually looks like. Freedom is different, going to be different for everybody. One of my clients is a very, very successful restaurant. He owns restaurants. He's a restaurant group owner. Lots of revenue, but constant headaches. You know, he's always dealing with employees calling out, employees having arguments among each other. I mean, he's literally has to schedule some ex-boyfriend, girlfriend employees opposite of each other. So he has to think about really stupid shit. And he just told me last week that he's actually been back in the kitchen the last 3 days in a row because his staff is missing. Like, he had one guy go to jail, he had one guy just vanish. Like, he doesn't have the people, so he's just stressed all the time, in short, right? So, you know, you imagine being the owner of multiple restaurants, you would assume that you're not behind a grill flipping burgers and steaks and pasta and whatever he's flipping back there. And he's a millionaire, and he still puts an apron on more days a week than he should. So, you know, no wonder he's burnt out, and he is burnt out. Like, nobody knows this at this time, and none of y'all know who I'm talking about, but we're actually building him an exit strategy right now so that he can be done with it, pivot into another business model entirely, and not have to deal with the shit, because he wants freedom. And freedom is an interesting thing. It's you can have money, you can have cars, you can have houses. If you don't have freedom, it's real hard to find happy. And I guess that's the sneaky point of my video. Project X was my way out. It was the system I built that gives me the freedom to go do whatever the hell I want to do. I'm going to end this video with one question. What's your way out? What's your thing that's going to give you the freedom to do whatever it is you want to do? Maybe you want to go on the road. Maybe you just want to go fishing on a Friday afternoon. I don't know what it is, but what is the thing that you're missing, and what's the plan? You got to have a plan. See you guys.